Friher Owen. Dych chi ar mute, Friher?
Ymddiheuriadau, pnawn da, Ffreier Owen, rheolwr polisi ar Gymraeg.
Mr. Rhys Howard Hughes.
Pnawn da, sori, Rhys dwi, Prifwyth Edw.
Mrs. Anne Holmes.
Pnawn da, swyddog
Good afternoon, Committee Officer. Mrs. Anwen Davis. Good afternoon, Scrutiny Manager, Democratic Services. And I can also see the name Nikki Sean, who is the translator. Chair, this is the translator working in the background this afternoon. And then Mrs. Shirley Cook. A technical member of staff again, working in the background. Thank you. Well, the technical staff are also very important, and I'd like to welcome them all. So welcome to everyone. Moving on with the agenda. The first item is apologies. I know we've received apologies from Councillor Ian Williams, and that Councillor Carwyn Jones has apologised. He will be late. Are there any more apologies? No? Okay, thank you. We'll move on then to item 2, declaration of interest. Is there any declaration of interest, Councillor Erin Morris? Thank you, Chair. I've got a personal interest in item number 7. Cyngor Gwynedd provide IT services for and I am a member of the team providing that service. Are there any other declaration of interests? No. Moving on then to item 3, just confirming the minutes of the meeting held on the 8th of March 2022. We just accept them for accuracy first. If anyone was present at the meeting on the 8th of March, can you propose that they're correct? It gives me pleasure to declare that they are correct. Thank you, Councillor Jones. I'm happy to second them, Chair. Can you please show that you're all in agreement, please? Raise your hand, either your virtual hand or your physical hand. And then the next meeting, the meeting held on the 31st of May, in relation to election of chair and vice chair. Can someone propose that they're correct, please? Proposed, Chair. Is there a seconder?
Yeah,
Councillor Ken Taylor. Can we all show that you're all in agreement, please? Thank you. Those have been accepted. Moving on now to item 4, the annual reports on the Welsh Language Standards 21-22. And in the absence of the Ian Williams, that the leader of the council will be presenting this item. Good afternoon, everyone. It's nice to join with you this afternoon at your first meeting as a team. As you can see, this is an annual report for 21-22. And we have been reporting on this for a number of years. It's a way that we can report publicly on the linguistic situation within the council and also give you an opportunity to challenge the work that's going on. You can see that even though, despite COVID and our ability to progress work, that we still have made progress, and you can see from the data provided by the officers that over 90% of our officers have Welsh language skills, so this gives us confidence in being able to provide bilingual services. And also, despite COVID affecting how quickly we can progress, things have happened, and in IT, for example, we can see that our email addresses have changed, and the website address, there's been an addition there. There was a presentation in the language forum regarding this, and that we can even increase this further and improve the content with our partners. So I think today it's nice to report back on something that's exciting, where we can see the fruits of our labour and see that things are making a difference. And when we get somebody like Freya in, who is a new face and who is becoming established in the council, there's a freshness in the presentation, the way the report is presented. So with those few words, not sure if I turn to Freya or the Chief Executive, but I'm happy to answer any questions. Thank you very much to the leader. Can I invite Mr. Dylan Williams, first of all, please? Thank you very much. I'm just going to add a few things. I hope the report is self-explanatory. As Linus has referred to, the template is quite modern and light and easy to read, and this is something that we want to build upon and use this as an example of good practice in other areas. There is a duty on us to operate through the medium of Welsh, but we're not doing it because of that. We're doing it because we welcome this and because it's crucial to our work. The fact that the language is used by over half of the population of the island from day to day, this is something important, and we have to recognise this in the way that we conduct ourselves as a body. Bilingualism comes naturally to us, and I would like to think for new members of staff that you can see this. It is a personal choice for officers regarding the language they use, but on email and so forth, we're trying to do everything bilingually. Sometimes things slip, but with such a large body, that's only natural. Our ability and our way of operating bilingually is a strength and something that we should be very proud of, and we should be working towards developing it even further. And compared to other public bodies, I think we're in a very good place. I think there's one or two things I'd just like to highlight in terms of our what we've achieved. Linus has also mentioned the emails, but I think over the past 3 years we should mention the investment in fitness equipment in our health centres, in our leisure centres. And I'm not sure if other bodies have this on offer. And of course, people of all ages attend our gyms and leisure centres. And I think we need to recognise the language forum that we have. It is a forum at the end of the day, bringing different people together to discuss and to move forward together. And in terms of the council and the island, I think there's clear cooperation. And it will be crucial and has been crucial. Carol, who was in the role before, Freya has done good work, and Freya is building upon this good work. But strong foundations have been laid, and hopefully this will help us to move forward even further over the next few years. The challenge for us, of course, is to build upon the work that has been done and to keep up the good work. But it doesn't take much to take a step back or make a mistake, but I can assure you that myself and the senior leadership team, this is a very important area. We try to do everything bilingually and to offer language choice to the people we serve or the people we work with. But there is a commitment there to develop our skills and our abilities even further, and to make sure that we build upon what we've done and not take a step back. So hopefully, Chair, that just adds to the reports and the introduction by the leader. And before opening up for questions, I just ask if Freya has anything to add. Thank you very much. So before moving, would Freya like to add anything? No, just to thank you all for the opportunity and to welcome the discussion or any questions that you have regarding the reports. So I'm going to open up to questions. I can see that Councillor Margaret Roberts has her hand up. Councillor Roberts, thank you, Chair. I'd like to congratulate you on the report. And I like the template. I have to say it's very simple and easy to read. I've been in a number of scrutiny meetings where we've been drowning in reports, but this is a good report. I have to say, I have one point to make. We've received more complaints during 2021 regarding the Welsh language. Are there any tendencies, any patterns that should be of concern to the Council? Or is this just down to COVID, or is there anything else behind this? Thank you. If I can come in just to explain a little bit about the complaints. Yes, there has been an increase this year, but I would like to talk about the change in the way that we record complaints about the Welsh language. And for a number of months, any complaints regarding the Welsh language are recorded. After looking at them in detail, there are some things that have slipped. But I don't feel that there is anything systematic that we should be concerned about. But we just need to be open to concerns. I think 4 of the complaints were in relation to house names and properties, and something that we don't perhaps have any control over. So this is something just to note. Thank you. Thank you. You're on mute, Chair. Dylan, you're on mute. It was bound to happen sometime during the meeting. Thank you very much for that, Councillor Gwilym Jones, and then Councillor Erin Morris. Thank you very much, and thank you for the report and for the introduction from the leader. In your introduction, you talk, for example, about 90%, if I recall, of officers have the necessary Welsh language skills, and this is exceptional. I don't think many public bodies have such a high percentage. What can we do as a council to help officers to develop their skills even further? Do you want me to come in because you were referring that comment to me? I think if you look at page number 36 of the report, when you see the graph there, when I looked at that, what we've done and what we are doing is we're trying to the Welsh language should always be important to us. We're doing this not because we have to, but because we want to. And then to have a culture where we want to be proactive in terms of the Welsh language. And of course, because of COVID, we haven't been together. It may have been difficult for people to maintain their Welsh language skills, but obviously when people return to the offices, then maybe they could develop their skills. Maybe Freya will be able to answer the question better than I can. I think I'd support what's been just been said. It's having the right circumstances within the workplace to help people to develop their skills, not to judge people, give up people opportunities, maybe informal opportunities to practice their Welsh language skills, that they're equally as important as traditional ways and courses and training. Training is available throughout the year for anyone who wants it, but I think it's important that there is a feeling within teams and offices that somebody can use their Welsh language skills. We don't want any barriers. Some people might feel frustrated and not being able to do that on paper. And feel that they don't have the necessary written skills. But as a council, we do give people the opportunity to develop their skills. We're taking part in a virtual meeting that can take place bilingually. We're very fortunate of having a translation team to support elected members, but also to support officers, to proofread pieces of work, to give advice. If I can just come back on that, I accept what you've just said, and I would agree with the response that you've given. If we're talking about visitors, people who visit the website, as you'd expect, the number maybe watching or reading the English version that's higher. Do you think over the next few years, with the language policy being implemented in our schools, and we should be congratulating the schools for the excellent work they do, but do you see those numbers increasing with more people turning towards the Welsh version? Is this going to happen naturally? Certainly, that's what we hope is going to happen. Young people will have received the majority of their education through the medium of Welsh. They might be more familiar with technology and not seeing barriers from moving from one language to the next. So hopefully we will see the usage increasing. We are investing in Welsh language services, and we have to make sure that they are easy to use and that they use language that's familiar to people and that it doesn't alienate people. So there's still work to be done. We've looked at the report itself, how we can modernize it and draft it in a way that is welcoming and in a simple and concise language. And I'm sure this can be extended to our services. And this is something that we should be considering continually to make sure that the services are appropriate and that they encourage people to use those services. Thank you. I think Mr. Dylan Williams wants to come in. Thank you, Chair. I'd just like to add, especially because we have new members, every time a new a role becomes vacant, we assess the linguistic requirements from 0 to 5, and 5 means totally fluent, either orally or written, and then that process is very proactive and is implemented across the council. And I think this is a very important administrative process. And so before maybe bringing the requirements down a level, we need evidence. So training is also very important. Helping people to learn Welsh during office hours. We encourage people to go on a number of different courses, not just to learn to speak Welsh, but to improve their Welsh. And whilst this is all ongoing, I think it's as important that we still take pride in the fact that we are bilingual. And if we can't appoint, and if we do appoint non-Welsh speakers, then we should support them and be committed to helping them to learn the language. So it's a combination of things. Councillor Gwilym-Jones, does that answer your questions? Yes, thank you. A number of members have their hands up. The next one is Councillor Erin Morris, please. Thank you, Chair. Thank you for the report. And congratulations on your commitment. Are there any specific risks regarding compliance with the Welsh language standards? If I go first, for me, the biggest risk is the labour market. Because of COVID, the labour market has been turned on its head. There are opportunities because of working hybrid, people wanting to work closer to home, but there are also challenges because people might want less challenging work, maybe wanting a career change, and this is an opportunity, but also a risk and something we need to monitor. At the moment, we do point to vacancies on all levels, but the labour market is very challenging. And lastly, the traineeship is very important. So bringing young people into the council at ground level and supporting them through the ranks. This is the biggest risk. Without bilingual people, and maybe if we have to turn to agency or bringing people in over the border, then our resilience and one of the strengths is then weakened. Thank you. I'm just looking at my screen. First, Councillor Ken Taylor, then Councillor Non David, then Councillor Pip O'Neill. Ken. Thank you, Chair. My question is, what are the main challenges that we face in terms of streamlining the Welsh language within the Council? Do you want me to go first, Freya? Yes, certainly. This means maybe going above the requirements of the standards, looking internally on how we use the Welsh language. We've touched upon some of the factors already. It's important that we respect language choice and that both languages have an equal status within our administration, but also we have this special duty to support those who want to develop their skills. And I think confidence at times can be a factor when it comes to mainstreaming, making more use of the Welsh language, maybe written, in writing. But we need to make sure that we have resources to support people, that we use technology and take advantage of translation and so forth to make sure that the Welsh language is a natural part of our administration. But again, I think there's more work to be done in terms of increasing people's confidence, getting people back to using Welsh after the pandemic. Maybe we've missed an opportunity to hear and use the Welsh language in informal settings. So work needs to be done to bring us back to the situation we were at previously before the pandemic, and then to continue with programs that were going on before the pandemic and encourage teams to make more use of the Welsh language and take advantage of any support that's out there. I hope this answers your question. Can I just come back very quickly? With regards to learning Welsh, I'm aware that one or two councillors who don't speak Welsh, will they be given the opportunity if they wish? If I can come in there, we would be more than happy to treat any elected member in the same way as our officers and support them to learn Welsh, even if that's external. We can discuss this within our groups. Just to answer the first question, I think the risk or the biggest problem is ourselves. Once we start speaking in English with somebody and they are learning Welsh, our tendency is to continue to speak English with them. So I think that's human nature. That's what the term in English. But that commitment and the attitude of the council throughout all the different levels, I hope this gives you confidence that this is one of our strengths. And the biggest challenge is keeping staff, and if we can welcome non-Welsh speakers to the council and encourage them to communicate effectively with us. I remember 10 years ago, a woman from Scotland coming to work from the council to the council, and she was moving to be closer to her daughter who worked in Wilva. When she retired a few months ago, she was able to speak Welsh like you or I, because she'd been given that opportunity, because she'd been committed and she'd had that confidence to learn Welsh. And with all due respect, this lady was in her 50s joining the council. So if somebody like that can do it, then anyone can. Thank you, Dylan. I think Councillor Llinell Mehdi wants to come in. Yes, I'd like to confirm that the training is available. Previous members went to Nant Gwrtheyrn. I went on a language refresher session to Nant Gwrtheyrn, so the opportunity is there for elected members as well. Can I just make one comment as one who sometimes isn't as confident in Welsh, especially writing in Welsh, because it is my second language? I have to say that I do appreciate the fact that the software is available on the computers, things like Cysill and Cysgair. It's so useful. If I've made a mess of an email, then I can just check it on the technology, and that gives a big help. Councillor Non Davydd. Thank you. I'd just like to add, I've worked in the language area for over a decade, and language awareness sessions were an effective way of getting people on board and getting the Welsh people to be proud of their Welsh identity. This may be something that should be considered. It might be something that's already being done by the council. But my question is there additional data available that can add value to the annual reports? Mr. Dylan Williams. Thank you for the comments regarding Welsh awareness. I'm not sure whether we are doing something like that to target all members of staff, and this is something that we could be discussed outside the meeting, just to discuss how we can do this effectively. In terms of data, it's fair to say that we need a new HR system, and that system would provide more data and enable us to look at that data more effectively than we are at the moment. It's something that we hope will happen soon, but it's one area that I recognise, and I've discussed with Freya, that it would be beneficial for us to get quality data. And of course, across the council, not just in pockets, we need a full picture across all the services. Freya, have you got anything to add? Yes, as you've said, I think being able to get more information about an individual's journey, the situation when somebody joins us, and then how their confidence increases as they develop in their career, being able to report annually on that information will be useful. And of course, in response to Welsh awareness, an element of this is on offer to every new member who joins the council. They get information on the standards, as well as, but with awareness is so important, and it's as important for Welsh speakers as non-Welsh speakers. We have been working closely with Menter Iaith Môn historically on awareness sessions, and there are plans in place locally with specific teams, where if we feel that there is an opportunity for us to maybe provide more an intense session. I've provided opportunities for social workers, so they've had a Welsh awareness session, but this is something that we can build upon. And we've also work as well with other agencies through the Language Forum to recognise appropriate providers. Thank you. Councillor Pip O'Neill.
Diolch, Chair. Dwi wedi bod yn trio dysgu Cymraeg.
I've been trying to learn Welsh.
But it's going to take a little time. I've not so much a question, but I'd just like to thank the translation team for doing such an excellent job. It's a brilliant service, and I think it's a fantastic way forward for us non-Welsh speakers. Thank you very much.
Diolch yn fawr iawn, Pip. Dal ati.
Thank you very much, Pip, and don't give up. I have one question. The report talks about the Welsh Language and Policy team, and there is one vacancy there. What's the latest situation regarding appointing a promotion officer? It's an important role to fill. Freya? I'm glad to report that we have appointed someone, and hopefully there are HR processes that need to be completed before this happens. But I will be able to confirm with you very soon. Thank you. Are there any further questions or any comments on the report? Councillor Nosmedi? Before finishing, I think it's all our attitudes towards the Welsh language. This is what's going to make the difference. Welsh language awareness is the way that we welcome people and our attitudes towards the Welsh language. So thank you. You've questioned things very passionately this afternoon, and we need to bring everybody on this journey. And I think with this group of councillors, I think the Welsh language is going to get the same fair play, and we're going to do things with empathy and bringing people on board. So thank you all for your questions. Thank you, Leader. So the recommendation in the report is the committee is invited to comment on the annual reports for 21-22 prior to its submission for delegated approval by the portfolio holder for publication. So as the Leader has just referred to, we've had a detailed discussion, raised a number of issues. So I think we've done that, we've fulfilled the recommendation. I turn to Anwen Davies. Do we need to do anything else? I take it, Chair, that you as a committee, that you've complied with the requirements, and those comments will be presented as part of the decision in the name of the portfolio holder. Thank you for that. So moving on to item 5, nomination of scrutiny members to serve on boards and panels. Can I turn to Mrs. Anwen Davies just to explain the process, please? Thank you very much. So this is a report looking for nominations from you as members of the Partnership and Regeneration Committee. From the report, you'll see that there are 3 panels that sit under the committees. The Educational Scrutiny Panel, who reports to you directly. Then the other one, that is the Finance Panel. And then thirdly, looking at social services and corporate parenting, who reports directly to the corporate scrutiny panel. So very quickly, you need to nominate 4 members to be on the education panel, 3 on the finance panel, and 4 on the social services and corporate parenting panel. So that's what we need to do this afternoon. I'm going to start with the education panel. Can I have nominations, please? Councillor Margaret Roberts, I would like to be on the education panel, please. Councillor William Jones. Yes, may I also put my name forward for this panel? Councillor Non-David. Yes, please. And I understand that Councillor Derek Owen also would like to be on the education panel. Councillor Derek Owen, are you still there? He's gone to hyperspace. He did get in touch with me before the meeting and expressed an interest in this panel.
I am here. Can you hear me now? Yep. I'd like to be on that panel, please. I'm having problems with the internet. I do apologise. Mae'n ddrwg iawn gen i.
No, dim problem. Aw ddechrau.
No problem, excellent. Moving on then to the finance panel. I've sat on this panel before, so I'd like to continue. So I'm happy to put my name forward. We need 2 of the members, Councillor Ken Taylor. I'm happy to be on the finance panel, Chair. And then we need 1 more, Councillor Paul Ellis. And me, please. Excellent. So that's the finance done. So moving on to social services. Can I have nominations, please? Councillor Erin Morris. Yes, please, Chair. Councillor Johnny Van Jones. Happy to be on the social services panel. Thank you. Councillor Pip O'Neill.
Yes, please. Diolch.
Diolch yn fawr I Pip. A wedyn...
Thank you, Pip. I'm sure Councillor Jeff Evans has an interest in this area. So even though he's not present, I'm going to suggest that we put forward Councillor Jeff Evans's name. And if he's not happy, I would ask Councillor Trevor Hughes to step in if that's acceptable. No problem, Chair. I'll be a super sub. Are we all in agreement with that? Can you please show? Excellent, thank you. So we've dealt with that item. Moving on to the forward work plan. This is item 6. I'll turn to Mrs. Anwen Davis. So this item is just to ask the committee to note the forward work plan. And you will be asked to review the plan from one meeting to the next. And you'll note that the next meeting is on the 19th of September. And the content of that meeting is listed in the forward work plan. Is somebody happy to propose that we accept that recommendation? Councillor Ken Taylor has his hand up. Councillor Erin Morrison seconding. Excellent, thank you. And then lastly, item number 7. So the Q4 progress reports. Can I turn to the officer again, Mrs. Davis? So this is just for information. I don't have anything to add. Unless the leader has anything to add or the chief executive in the absence of the portfolio holder, but they are documents just for information. I think I'm the portfolio holder because I'm the statutory member on the board. They are for information, but it gives you a flavour on the work of the Economic Ambition Board. And there will be a session to bring you all up to speed on the regional plans, the local plans, and as you can see, the risks as well that we will be facing. We meet this Friday to elect a chair and a vice chair. I was leading on plans to do with energy, and hopefully I will be able to continue with this piece of work, but everybody needs to be bringing up to speed. But this just gives you a flavour of the work that's going on. Thank you very much to the leader for that explanation. Can I have a proposer, please, that we note the report? Councillor Ken Taylor and Councillor Erin Morris seconding. Can you show your hands, please? Show that you're happy to accept. There we are. And that's the end of the meeting. Can I thank you all for your contributions this afternoon? Can I point out, especially with new members, not every scrutiny meeting is as quick as this one. Go out to enjoy the